it keeps on getting even better for the Boston Celtics as we have multiple updates as they are back to their winning ways and shooting the lights out of the ball from the three-point line. We are also going to get into a few things with a couple of players on this roster looking to get a couple of awards at the end of the season as the Celtics only have 4 games remaining. Will the Celtics have a 6th man of the year? And will they have multiple All-NBA players? And we will get into all of that in this video. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video here on Celtics Digest. I'm Patrick Billings. And before we get into anything, guys, if you love the content here on Celtics Digest that Bruce and I are dropping every single week, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. A lot of you guys watch our videos, and you're not subscribed to the channel. So go ahead, subscribe to the channel, give us some love over here on Celtics Digest. Everything means a lot. And without further ado, let's get right into this video as we have a lot to talk about. A lot of things have been going on with the Boston Celtics with only 4 games remaining. And of course, the Celtics are back to their winning ways as they were on a nice little winning streak on that 6-0 road trip that the Celtics had and then ended up having a loss and then coming back, getting 2 wins in a row here. One last night against the Washington Wizards as the Celtics were able to pull that one out very easily as the Celtics had a lot of production from a lot of different players as Payton Pritchard ended up being the leading scorer with 20 points. And the Celtics, a main highlight for this game was shooting really, really well, not only from the field, shooting 49%, but 46% from the three-point line, going 24 for 52, which has really just been the Celtics all season long. But if we go ahead and to someone who has been playing incredibly for the Boston Celtics, not just this game, but just in the last couple of weeks, has just really stepped up and been an unbelievable player for the Boston Celtics, and we've talked about him a lot on this channel, and that's Luke Kornet. Luke Kornet with another double-double, 13 points and 14 rebounds. And if you look at those offensive rebounds, 9 offensive rebounds for Luke Kornet. He is an absolute dog, a beagle, as Brian Scalabrine likes to say on the broadcast. Just grabbing every single offensive board. It's almost as if he doesn't want to grab any defensive boards, but he is just on that offensive glass, giving the Celtics a lot of opportunities for second chance points, which is definitely something that helps out the Celtics a lot on this offense, especially scoring 124 points last night against an injury-ridden and a young Wizards team. You know, nothing to be too crazy about, but you do like seeing a lot of these guys for the Boston Celtics getting in and giving them good minutes. Torrey Craig, a guy who played incredibly last night with 8 rebounds. He was just all over the floor. Baylor Shireman, same exact way, all over the floor for the Boston Celtics. But you see Jaylen Brown also playing 15 points, only playing 22 minutes, and we will get more into him later on in the video. But the Celtics with an all-around great game from everybody on the roster. And as we know, the Celtics have been shooting incredibly from the three-point line, and they were able to do something that no one in NBA history has been able to do. And the Boston Celtics this season have hit 20-plus threes in 25 games this season, and no other team in NBA history has had a season with 20 or more. So as we know, the Celtics have been shooting unbelievable amounts of threes this season. NBA records to say, as a couple days ago when they played the Phoenix Suns, they have broken the record for the most three-pointers made in a single season by a team, and the Celtics only added more to that, 24 more to that record. And then they also have 4 more games remaining. So that number is only going to be rising and rising again. And if we look as the Boston Celtics have a little bit of a competition going on, but Derrick White has really, really ran away with it. And this is for the most three-pointers in Celtics history. We know Jayson Tatum has missed a couple of games here and there, so he's kind of fallen behind a little bit. But Isaiah Thomas is looking like he's going to move down to 4th place as Jayson Tatum will definitely be passing him there. But it'll be interesting with 4 games left to see who ends up at the top. We know the Celtics end the season with 2 games against the Hornets, so I don't think the Celtics will be playing a lot of starters and playing a lot of bench guys, and Payton Pritchard is going to be one of those guys playing a ton of minutes for the Boston Celtics in those times. So Payton Pritchard might have a chance to go and be the number 1 on this list for three-pointers made in Celtics history. So it's something little to look at for the future. But of course, kind of talking about Payton Pritchard and how well he's been playing this season, I want to get into him because Pritch please, he has been amazing for the Boston Celtics. Payton Pritchard has been on a tear, and he has really shown how important he is to this Boston Celtics team, let alone this season, last season, in the playoffs when guys are out. He's constantly being there to step up into a bigger role, even though he's still coming off the bench. Joe Mazzulla does love him in that bench spot. But Payton Pritchard is looking real good for the sixth man of the year, as he's, of course, and you see here on this article that he is in full control. And if there are some betting people out there, Payton Pritchard is the betting favorite at minus 1,100 to win the sixth man of the year award, which gives him a probability of 91.67%, which is really dang good for Payton Pritchard. And this is something that I think Joe Mazzulla really wanted him to get and gain his confidence. And as you can see here, he was only at a minus 125 before he had his career high of 43 points against the Blazers. And also, he became the first player in NBA history to record 40 points with 10 three-pointers and 10 rebounds in a game. And of course, as you can read in the article again, that performance really just might have wrapped up the sixth man of the year race, as Malik Beasley has been playing very well this year. Even Russell Westbrook coming off the bench at some good odds for sixth man of the year. But Payton Pritchard has really been able to run away with that, as we see his averages at 14 points, just under 4 rebounds a game, and just over 3 assists a game. Also, with the Celtics being the position that they're in, this is just a really easy award for Payton Pritchard to go ahead and win. And you can see here, he's the first Boston backup to score 20-plus points in 4 straight contests since Isaiah Thomas did that in 2015. So when you're having something from the Boston Celtics and somebody like Isaiah Thomas who played for the Boston Celtics, and you're doing records like that, I think that's a great spot that you want to be in as a player, especially from Payton Pritchard. I mean, Payton Pritchard has constantly gotten better every single year, and I think that he's going to be a Celtic for a very long time and constantly be doing more things for the Boston Celtics as we look ahead to these last 4 games and to make a playoff run. And another guy who the Boston Celtics definitely love is Jaylen Brown. And is Jaylen Brown going to be an All-NBA player this season? We know everything has changed for All-NBA awards and all the other awards. You have to have a certain criteria to meet, and Jaylen Brown is very close to that criteria. And a lot of guys like Joel Embiid and Kawhi Leonard, of course, not being able to meet that criteria. So a lot of guys are really going to be pushed up that list to be All-NBA. So is Jaylen Brown going to be one of those guys? So let's look at some of Jaylen Brown's stats here. As we see, 22.5 points per game, 6 rebounds a game, just under, and about 4.5 assists a game. Jaylen Brown shooting 43% from corner threes, which is very interesting. He's not really shooting the ball too well from 3-point percent this year, as he's only shooting 32%, but 46% from the field. And Jaylen Brown has really been able to come into his own, especially on the defensive end. There's a lot of options on this Celtics team, so it can be tough to score a lot of points when there are that many options. But we look here on how Jaylen Brown can become eligible for All-NBA. He has to be playing in 3 of Boston's final 4 games, those games being the Knicks, Magic, and both against the Hornets. And he only needs to play 20 minutes in each of those games. However, because he's played in 20 minutes or more in every game to this date, he still has both his near misses, meaning he could be limited to 15 minutes in 2 of the Celtics' final 4 games. And we know that Jaylen Brown has been dealing with a little bit of a knee injury that he's still fighting through, that Joe Mazzulla is confident and made him confident in playing, and Jaylen Brown's not really been attacking the rim as much, and he learned a lot from this injury and playing through the pain that he's going through, and that's how good of a player that he is. And him being All-NBA will prove to him that he is a good player all around in different facets of the game, and not the ones that he just loves doing, whether it's his jump shooting or kind of getting more confident in his 3-point shooting. So I think this can help his game a lot. But of course, as you can see here, if the C's want to manage Brown's minutes while getting him to 65 games, a logical plan would be playing him against the Knicks, resting him the second night of the back-to-back against the Magic, and then limiting him to as close as 15 minutes as possible in each of Boston's final 2 games against the Hornets. I mean, me personally, I don't think that the Celtics will sit him on the back-to-back. That doesn't really make too much sense because you're playing the Hornets in 2 back-to-back games as well. So playing a shorthanded Hornets team, not really looking to win anything. The Celtics don't really need to win anything either, but I don't see Jaylen Brown playing 15 minutes in that last game against Charlotte, but I know they're going to be looking for Jaylen Brown to meet that criteria so that he can be All-NBA, as he's very deserving. So we've seen him be snubbed at many different awards, whether it's All-Star or All-NBA. We've seen it before, and the Celtics don't want that to happen again because Jaylen Brown is our guy, and we need Jaylen Brown as much as he needs us as well. But guys, if you like what we talked about in this video, we talked about a bunch of updates as the Boston Celtics look to close this season up on a high note. Let me know in the comments what you think with Jaylen Brown and Payton Pritchard, as well as how well the Celtics have been playing. Go ahead and drop the like on the video. And with that being said, guys, thank you for watching the video, and go Boston Celtics.